Hi guys, and welcome to today's webinar. Thank you for everyone for coming along. Today's webinar is going to be based around Inventor and AutoCAD and the 2D workflow between them both. So taking an AutoCAD file through into Inventor, and then also taking an Inventor model through into AutoCAD, and then how they both integrate seamlessly with Vault. So we'll be touching on a little bit of Vault at the end of today's show. Now, a little bit on myself. My name is Ian Cross. I'm one of the technical consultants here at A2K Technologies. I specialize in the data management and the manufacturing area of the business. Roughly for the past 20 or so years, I've been in the manufacturing and the electrical industry in the reseller channel. A mechatronics engineer by trade, and then roughly 12 or so years in the past at various Autodesk resellers around the world. Yeah, so that's just a little bit of a background on myself. A little bit on A2K Technologies. There's a number of different things and areas and consulting that A2K specialize in that can help with within your organization. It's not just a simple software selling company. From our on-site to our online training. So if you haven't seen advertised or heard about, we're currently running our online web courses for our Autodesk range, from AutoCAD, AutoCAD Electrical, Inventor, Revit, Civil, and so on and so forth. Our consulting and integration services, whether it's a Revit or Vault or Inventor integration or consulting, anything you need help with, or BIM implementation, CAD management, or customized content creation. Any of those we do assist with and help with and can consult with you guys. If you do need any more information on that, of what A2K can provide and help and assist your company with, then please do get in touch with us. A little bit about what I'm going to talk about today. So to start off with, I'm just going to go through Inventor and AutoCAD, their differences, why, what and why they are. Why do we use Inventor? Why do we use AutoCAD? Does AutoCAD still have a purpose in today's world? Obviously, Inventor does 2D, Inventor does 3D, AutoCAD does 2D, AutoCAD does 3D. So I'm going to touch on a little bit about what both the products are, where they stand in today's market, and why we should be using each of them. Then a little bit about Vault, the different versions of Vault, what Vault is, and the benefits that it can offer you and your company, regardless of their size. That'll be the presentation over and done with, and then we'll jump into the live show, starting with AutoCAD, taking a 2D design from AutoCAD, taking it into Inventor, turning it into a 3D model, putting it into an assembly, constraining it up, and then having that AutoCAD model change. And then seeing that change update in Inventor. Then taking your Inventor 3D assembly model directly from Inventor into AutoCAD for detailing, and the reasons why you would want to do that. There's a number of different reasons why we'd still want to use AutoCAD for our detailing. And then taking a DXF from Inventor, from like a sheet metal flat pattern or something along those lines, and then taking it over to AutoCAD. That's a pretty short and basic workflow. And then we'll jump into Autodesk Vault. How it integrates in with Inventor and AutoCAD, how you use it inside Inventor and AutoCAD, how you use it outside of Inventor and AutoCAD. I'll go through some of the copy design tools, so taking an entire model, copying it or reusing it, excluding it, redesigning it, renaming it, at pretty much the click of a button. There's just a couple of options you've got to go through, and then you can copy the entire design inside a Vault, have all the links retained, or broken, whichever way you want to go, and then a new design created inside a Vault. How the attributes and title block mapping works through Inventor and through AutoCAD. So obviously in Inventor we have our I properties and our title blocks, and in AutoCAD we have our attributes and our title blocks, and how how the data goes, through from AutoCAD back into Vault, and from Vault back into Inventor and AutoCAD, and how we use that data, how we search upon it, and how it becomes very powerful inside of Vault. We'll also have a little bit of a look at the auto PDF generation that comes inside of Vault, and how it can benefit the non-vaulted users. Having a PDF automatically created at a transition, at a lifecycle transition, and how that can be exported out to a network location, or how it can be viewed within the thin client. And then we'll talk a little bit about lifecycle control, revision control, version control, and just a little bit of an overview of what Vault can do. Now, I'll start with Inventor. Now, for those who are currently maybe only using AutoCAD and they're here to see what Inventor can do, a little bit about what Inventor is. So, Inventor is the leading 3D CAD modeling software for product and mechanical design. It comes with a plethora of tools and features inside of Inventor to help you get your product, your design to market faster with less errors. Now, in recent years, there's been quite a few changes inside of Inventor, from for instance, the shape generator that currently is in Inventor, which allows you to create and evaluate high-performing designs within minutes. Okay, the generative design tools, the parametric modeling tools, which allows you to focus on your designs as you create them and edit your 3D models with intuitive user interfaces. It has the full assembly and drawing creation tool, so you can quickly create clear, accurate, and detailed drawings for your manufacturing, whether that's outputting a sheet metal design, or whether it's outputting drawings for your CAM modeling, or your milling machines, or whatever it may be. It allows you to do that. In recent years, there's been some introductions with your shared view collaboration. When you want to collaborate with people outside of your organization, or even inside, and you need to share non-native data with them, there is the ability to maintain an associative link to non-CAD data and share it with the outside world. It has the frame design inside of it, so the frame generator. Not only can you quickly design your structural frames, but you can test them. There is a structural frame analysis software inside of Inventor. You've got sheet metal tools for creating your thin-bodied parts, your sheet metal parts. You've got model-based definition for including manufacturing information for your downstream applications. Inventor comes with a content center. It comes with hundreds of thousands of standard components in a customizable library. So it's not just the standard components, you can add your own. It has BIM interoperability for converting your 3D CAD models into BIM objects. It has a number of different flexible modeling options to allow you to use the right modeling tool for every job, be that parametric modeling or direct modeling, which allows you to push and pull controls to move, rotate, resize, or scale features from imported geometries, or even freeform modeling, where you can freely sculpt and shape your design by moving points and edges and faces around. Okay, it's got plastic part design and plastic part molding. It's got component generators and calculators to do things such as welds and clamps and press fits, tube and pipe, cable and harness. It's got the connected data for your printed circuit boards in Eagle, which is one of Autodesk's newer products. It's got the integration with Autodesk Vault, which we'll be talking about today, okay, which allows you to search from inside Inventor, you're searching Vault from inside of Inventor and quickly find, copy design, and connect to Vault. It's got a range of simulation tools and visualization tools to create, for instance, exploded views, animations of complex assemblies, and product documentation. It's got dynamic simulation to apply forces and evaluate the motion, the speed, and the acceleration of your design. Stress analysis and visualization and rendering to show how your product will look with the visualization and the rendering tools that come inside of Inventor. And running quick checks on parts and in-depth analysis on your entire product to see whether things are going to buckle or bend or break. So there's a range of things inside of Inventor which allows you to get your product to market faster. That is, I guess, in a nutshell, a fairly big nutshell, some of the things that Inventor can do. But that also makes you think, well, if it can do 2D design, if it can do 3D design, why do I need AutoCAD? Well, AutoCAD, which to be fair, I don't think really needs much of an introduction. Most of you guys probably would have had some experience and some influence by AutoCAD through your engineering life. It's been around for a good 38 years. I think 1982 was the first AutoCAD release. But for those not entirely familiar with AutoCAD, it is a 2D and 3D computer-aided design or CAD software for a range of professionals, from electrical engineers, architects, construction engineers, manufacturing engineers, piping and instrumentation, or plant design. It comes with an industry-specific set of tools for different industries. As you can see on the screen there, you've got MEP tool sets, you've got Map 3D, you've got raster design, plant, mechanical, electrical, architecture. There's a range of different industry tool sets that allows you to use AutoCAD in a range of different industries. Now, AutoCAD has been around for a long time, but in recent years, you can work with it anywhere. It's been included to work with a mobile app and a web app, which requires no real installation. You just simply install, for your mobile, you just install the app, you log in, and away you go. Same with the web app. There's no installation required. It's purely 360. Okay? It's purely all online, and you can log in, view, edit, annotate, and create drawings from your web browser. You don't even need AutoCAD installed on your machine. Now, AutoCAD over the years has added tool after tool after command, and there's a range of different things that are in AutoCAD. Now, I'm going to be using the new 2021 AutoCAD in this demonstration. There's a few things that have been included, such as the drawing history, where you can compare past and present versions of the drawing and see the evolution of your work. You've got the XREF Compare, which allows you to see the changes made to your current drawing from change external references. The blocks palette has been enhanced to view and access your blocks content from AutoCAD on the desktop within the web app. It's had a range of performance enhancements. It's got, obviously I was just talking before about the AutoCAD on any device and the cloud storage. It's got new quick measure tools and enhanced DWG compares. We're just going through some of the standard tools which have made AutoCAD a office favorite or even a household favorite if you're working from home these days. You've got your extended workflows with AnyCAD, anytime, anywhere. You've got your web and your mobile. You've got your shared view, same as Inventor, allowing you to publish your designs to a web browser for external people or internal people who don't have AutoCAD to view and edit, view and comment on your designs. You've got your usual text settings, your dimensions, your leaders, your center marks. You've got all the different table commands, your vision clouds, views, layouts, data linking, data extraction. And when you've got intelligent blocks, you've got dynamic blocks, which add the flexibility and intelligence to your blocks, which allow you to change the shape, the size, and the configuration inside of AutoCAD. You've got, with the likes of AutoCAD Electrical, you've got things like the auto generation of annotations, schedules, tables. With raster design, you've got the intelligent optical character recognition. There's such an array of things inside of AutoCAD these days, and even the 3D modeling. The 3D modeling inside of AutoCAD is fantastic. It's got solid, surface, mesh modeling. You've got different visual styles, you've section planes, you've got rendering tools, you've got cloud rendering tools. You've got the ability to bring in point clouds and 3D laser scans, and the creation of PDF files, DGN files, image references. And then you've got the massive amounts of customization with the trusted DWG technology, the CUI interface, the action recorders, the CAD standards, the application programming interface, the API, and as well with the App Store. So still, AutoCAD still plays a huge role in today's industry. It's such a familiar interface. Although there has been changes, which some people do not like, I think it's all been for the better. I think it's a great product, and it still has a major place in today's workforce. So that's a little bit about Inventor, a little bit about AutoCAD. So comparison, let's put this side by side. Okay, so yes, AutoCAD can do 2D and 3D, but Inventor is a purely 3D object-oriented software. Yes, it does do 2D drawings. They both communicate with toolbars, context-sensitive shortcut menus, the right-click flyouts, and the dialog boxes. But AutoCAD comes with that all too familiar command line, which is constantly feeding us with information again and again with our shortcuts and our application menus and our command lines and that sort of thing. Whether AutoCAD is industry focused, it integrates with different industries such as architecture, electrical, civil, mechanical. We talked about the map, plant. Inventor mainly is mechanical and product design. That's not to say that you have to do mechanical and product design inside of Inventor, but that's where the main focus is. AutoCAD is a geometry-driven model. Normally, it's you draw your 2D plans and it's all around the geometry. It's a flat 2D plan. Inventor is a parametric modeling system where it's not just a 2D plan, it's a 3D square. That hole has a depth, it has a chamfer, it has a radius, it has a countersink depth, and then has the chamfers and the fillets to go around the block. It has a mass, it has a volume, it has material, which has an XYZ center of gravity. So there's a whole heap of extra stuff inside of the modeling. AutoCAD, it's all in one file. Yes, I mean, you've got the external referencing, but it's all in one file. Everything is inside your DWG file, whether inside of Inventor, it's an assembly part, an IAM file, it's a part file, an IPT, it's a drawing file, an IDW or DWG, it's a presentation file, the IPTs, sorry, the IPN files. And where AutoCAD just creates the drawing of the machine, with Inventor, you can simulate the machine, you can see how it moves, you can see how it reacts and adapts within real life conditions. Okay, so there's a little bit of a comparison between the two products. And then, so hopefully when we get into the actual demonstration, I can take you through how they link together and how they operate together. So next, and the final slide is Autodesk Vault. What and why is Autodesk Vault? Now, Vault's one of my favorite products in the Autodesk suite. It's something I've been specializing in for a good, I'd say I've been using it for 10 years, but I've been really had my head deep into it for about 8 years now. It is a product data management software, which allows you to have a single source of truth for your engineering data. Now, it's not just your engineering data, it will take every file format that you can throw at it. So Word documents, PowerPoints, Excels, it'll take SolidWorks files, it'll take MicroStation files, it'll take text files, images, 3D point scans, it'll take everything, okay? But it's a single source of truth. It doesn't take a lot to get Vault installed in your organization and be quickly up and running. The administration side of things is super easy. It integrates with the majority of the Autodesk suite. I'm not going to say everything because it doesn't integrate with everything, but it integrates with the majority of the Autodesk suite, and it also has plugins for non-Autodesk products, such as your Microsoft Office, your Outlook, and it even has some of its competitor products it plugs into as well. So you can have a direct plug into the likes of MicroStations and SolidWorks as well. Now, what does it do? Okay, apart from being a repository for dumping all of your information in there, it controls your revision controls. Okay, it has lifecycle management. It can track the changes in all of your files. So when a file is checked out and modified and brought back in, it can track all of the changes. It can automatically control as approved and released and then needs to be updated and modified. It can control your revision schemes. It can control your design. You can see step by step everywhere where that's been. It has intelligent search capabilities. So where in Windows Explorer you could just really search upon a file name, in Vault you can search upon a property, something inside of a drawing file, a material. You can search upon a part number, a drawing number, who created it, when they created it, what day they created it. You can search upon a part number, a project number, a description, anything that's inside of a part file, an assembly file, a drawing file. If it's a bit of information that Autodesk can read, you can search upon it. But not only that, through the lifecycle control, you can control what people see when they should see it based on their role or a project. So if they're a designer, a draftee, they only need to see it in the work in progress and the drafting sides of things. If they're an approver, a reviewer, a manager, they only need to see it in the approval stages and review stages. So based on their role, they can only see what they need to see. It also gives you the ability to output this to your ERP systems, your SAPs, your SharePoints, your Microsoft Dynamics. So if you've got things down the line such as procurement and purchasing, you can share that data with your manufacturing suppliers, your contractors, your customers. You can share that data when and how you need it. And not just that, multiple sites across the world. If you've got an office here in Sydney, you've got an office in London, you've got an office in LA, you've got an office in India, Japan, China, wherever it may be, you can have a vault in every single site and they can be talking live. So every single site sees the data in real time. As soon as I add a file here in Sydney, you will see it within seconds in London, okay? But it connects the work groups across multiple sites and multiple locations. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling on about Vault right now because it is something I am quite passionate about. So I'll stop rambling on and I'll jump into what we all came here to see, which is starting off with showing how AutoCAD and 2D can link in with Inventor. Okay, so I am just going to switch over to my AutoCAD. So here I have an AutoCAD drawing file. Okay, it's just a sort of a horseshoe shaped sort of plate. I've drawn it up in AutoCAD. It is a generic, it is a basic as they come AutoCAD file. Now it is a parametric model, so I have my constraints, I have my dimensions. It's been modeled up so that it works. Okay. But anyway, I've modeled it up in AutoCAD, and some of you may be asking, well, you could have just modeled that up in Inventor. Well, yeah, I could have, but what if I got this from a contractor who didn't have Inventor? What if we didn't have an Inventor on the shop floor? It came from the guy from the shop floor and he's AutoCAD LT, or it came from a third-party customer who said, I need this made. Okay, you might have received that from a source who didn't have the availability to Inventor. Okay, so this is where we can take an AutoCAD file, we can move it into Inventor, and we can actually make a 3D solid body out of it, which it can then go into Vault. Okay, and then it can have its life cycle tracked all the way through to manufacturing, whilst staying associative to that AutoCAD file. If that AutoCAD file updates, it will update my Inventor. Okay, so anyway, I have my file here in AutoCAD. This is AutoCAD 2021. Let me switch over to my Inventor, okay, where here I have an Inventor model, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that AutoCAD file, I'm going to bring it into here, and I'm going to attach it into this model. But first of all, I need to turn that AutoCAD drawing into a part file, okay. So I will just create a new part file. And by the way, I am loving the dark theme in the new Inventor. I think it's awesome. I think it looks great. Okay, so I've started a new part file. Now there's a couple of ways of bringing in an AutoCAD file into Inventor. On our File tab, we have our Open, and we have our Open DWG file. That will bring in your AutoCAD file, but it'll bring it in as a drawing, as an Inventor drawing. Okay, it'll not bring it in and be able to be used as part of a sketch. We have our Import DWG file here. Now that will bring it into our sketch, but it will not keep the associativity to the AutoCAD file. I can still use I can still use it, I can still extrude from it and turn it into a part file, but I will lose that associativity. So what I need to do is use a slightly different method, and I'm going to use, on my Manage tab, I have this Import button here, which I'm going to click Import. I'm going to go to my AutoCAD files. I'm going to select my AutoCAD drawing, which is this RCCF curve plate, and I'm going to bring this in. Now it asks me to place it on a work plane, which is a standard Inventor practice. You need to start a sketch on a work plane. I'm going to use the XY plane. Now it's asking me to specify the origin point. It's asking me to specify my base point. So I'm just going to choose 0, 0. Yep, bring this in. Okay. If that was just letting me know that I have brought in associative AutoCAD drawings. So as you can see there, it's brought in my AutoCAD drawing, and it's available here in my model browser. And if I right click, I can see I've got my suppress and break link. I can open it directly in AutoCAD. I can also change the layer visibility. So depending on what layer it's being brought in on, I can turn off different layers. Okay, so let's turn this into a 3D model. So let's start Sketch, okay, on my XY plane. And you'll notice now, because I brought in my AutoCAD 3D geometry, so my AutoCAD geometry, my 2D geometry, I now have, under Project Geometry, I have Project DWG geometry. So I can project an underlay DWG to be part of my sketch. So I'm going to use that Project DWG geometry and just select my AutoCAD geometry. Okay, it's come through as yellow, and for those familiar with AutoCAD, Inventor, you'll know that the yellow geometry is reference geometry. Now I'm going to finish my sketch, and I'm going to extrude, 3D model, extrude, and I'm going to select my geometry. My first sketch goes both ways, and I am going to set this to be 1.6 mil steel. Okay, click OK. So I have an AutoCAD geometry brought in and turned into a 3D model. Okay, let's just save this geometry. I'll just set it under my training numbering scheme. Okay, I will stick it under, put it back under here, workspaces. I'll stick it in the same file as the AutoCAD place. Click save. Okay, so I've saved it. Okay, that was just another one of the benefits with Vault. It allows you to auto-generate a numbering sequence. You can have as many numbering sequences as you want, and it will always just pick the next incremental character. So I've created that, I've saved it. Let's jump back over to my my Inventor assembly here, and let's just flip this over. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach it into here, and I'm going to place it around this plate. Okay, so let's go and assemble this together. I'm going to place my model. Let's go find it. Group, we got parts, and it was my part file there. Click open, and I'm just going to drop him down there. Okay, so I've placed in my AutoCAD model, and I'm now just going to constrain the two together. For those not familiar with Inventor, constraining is just simply assembling the assembly, if you like, together. Bases have to be put together, holes have to be lined up, and things need to be placed together. It's like essentially building the model. So I'm just going to do this quite simply. I'm just going to assemble face to face. I will flush face, turn this around to face, apply, and just say that's put that there. Oops, I chose the wrong one there. I'm going to constrain flush. Sorry, I didn't pick flush. I'm going to flush. Too close. That face there with that face. There we go. Apply that in. And then what I will do is just simply one final constraint to constrain this up. I will just assign there to there. There we go. Okay, I have my plate in. Okay, so I have brought in an AutoCAD face. I have stuck it together, and I have created a 3D solid model. So that is a 3D solid body. It has a mass, it has an area, it has a material, it has a volume. It is now going to appear in my bills of materials. Okay. Now, what if that design changes? What if somebody in AutoCAD goes, okay, well, it needs to be this, for instance, this lip here needs to be longer or shorter or something like that. So let's jump back over to AutoCAD and see what happens when we change something. So I'm just going to show my dimensions here. Let's just make this value here a bit different. Let's make it 20. I don't want to make it too different. I don't want to obviously cause any corruptions or anything like that. Let's not make it too different. Let's change that, okay? And let's save our file. Save. Let's jump back to Inventor. Now I can see within my Inventor, there's no in-your-face prompt, but I can see at the top here, I have my update button. So again, those for me with AutoCAD, you'll know to look for the local update, which tells me a file has changed. So if we just look in on here, and we'll see when I click the update button, we'll see this change. So a simple change, but it just proves that you can bring in your 2D model from AutoCAD, create a 3D solid body out of it in Inventor, place it into your assembly, and keep all of the files associative. So if one file updates, they all update. Now, that's going from taking a file from AutoCAD into Inventor, okay? Now, what if I want to take it from Inventor into AutoCAD? Now, again, I can hear you guys asking, why would you want to do that? You can do 2D modeling inside, sorry, 2D drawings inside of Inventor, where again, yes, you can, but the recipient might not have Inventor. You might be sent a CAD file. Now, again, yes, you can put it into Inventor and you can export it, or you can explode it and take it down into its individual components. And there's a lot of hassle. There's a number of different ways you can do this. This way, I think, is pretty straightforward and it's nice and easy. So let's just get this. Let's just flip them back over, make them look nice and pretty. There we go. I am loving the new the dark theme inside of Inventor. It looks great. Back over to Inventor, I have my little, I've called it Inventor 3D. It's just for we're bringing in my Inventor document. Now, there's a tiny little bit of pre-work to do in here. I've done this pre-work. It's just basically, you need to set your template up correctly for it to look correctly. It's not to make it work correctly, it's just to make it look correct. And that's mainly for your styles, for the layers. You may want your hidden lines to be red, or your hidden lines to be gray, or your hidden lines to be magenta, and you want your visible lines to be a different color, or even a different thickness. Now, all my pre-work involved is I opened up my template, I created a very simple 3D shape, and that creating a 3D shape allowed me to create these two layers, okay? MD visible and MD hidden, okay? Now, obviously, MD hidden is your hidden layers. Your visible is your visible layers. Now, I have a whole heap of other layers in here. That's all my AutoCAD electrical layers, because this is one of my AutoCAD electrical templates. But the main ones we're focusing on here is the hidden and visible. Now, it's not necessary for you to do the pre-work. It just means that when you first add your 3D model in, you're then going to have to go in and modify your layers to suit the right colors, line weights, line types, and printing styles. Okay? So we know that in our layer properties. We know that in our layer properties, we can specify the viewport colors, line types, line weights, and all that sort of stuff, line weights, transparency, print, whether it prints or not. So just a little bit of pre-work goes involved. Now, I want to bring that Inventor model over to me, and I want to start detailing it up in here, but I also want to keep the link associative. Okay, so if my Inventor model updates, I want my AutoCAD file to update too. Okay, so the command I use to bring through my Inventor model, if you like, is just view base. Okay, type in view base. Okay, or it's to create a base view. Now, it allows me to pick the model I want to place in, which is this RCCF 02. But noticing on the right-hand side there, I can actually pick the level of detail, positional representation, and a design view. Now, that is awesome. Allowing me to actually go through and pick different view reps, positional representations, and levels of detail. That's giving you a lot of the Inventor functionality inside of AutoCAD. You know, you might want content center compressed. You might have a particular item suppressed. You might, if it's an item that moves, you might have different representations, like an open and closed. Okay, that allows you to bring in different view reps instead of having to go back to Inventor, create something, or create a second model. You know, having it opening and closed and whatever. You can just change the different view rep. So when I click OK, it brings through my view. Now the scale might not be quite as you want just yet, but just give me a chance. Down the bottom, you can see our command line, which, as we know, in AutoCAD constantly fills us with information. So before I place this down, I can change what representation I want, what orientation I want, whether I want a front view, base view, side view, ISO view, whether I want hidden lines shown, what scale I want, and what I want visibility of. Now, to start with, I am just going to place these down. So I'm going to place that view there. I'm not going to change any of the options just yet. And I'm going to click enter, do a side view and an ISO view, and then say, okay. So there we have our views placed down. Now, they look great. I can start dimensioning up. I can start working on them. That's fantastic. But just showing you, when you double click inside and you activate that view, you've got the option of changing the view rep, whether I want to show hidden lines. Now, I'll bring on the hidden lines and I'll show you that they come in red. They all should come through red. There we go. Now, obviously, that looks a little bit messy. I don't want all my hidden lines, but they've come through red because I've set that VMD hidden to be red. That's why they've come through red. Okay, but I don't want that. So let's turn off hidden lines because that's just messy. But I've also got shaded with visualized, shaded with visible and hidden. So you may want the colors to come through as well. But I'm just want the visible lines for now. Okay. Things like scale. Enter review scale, it's at 1.25 at the moment. I'm actually quite happy with the scale that it's got at the moment. The ISO view and the side view come through linked with the base view. You can break that link as well if you want, if it really feels necessary to do so. But let's give this a dimension. So let's go annotate, give it a dimension from say there, okay, 7 mil, okay. Click save on him. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, just shut these down. I'm going to go back to, do you want to check it in? Check it in. I'm going to go back to Inventor and I'm going to edit this model, this base, which is 7 mil thick. Okay. And I'm going to modify the extrusion, edit feature. Okay. And I'm just going to change it to be, say, 5 mil. Again, not too much of a drastic change. I'm just proving the point that if you update something in Inventor, save. If you update something in Inventor and you go back to AutoCAD, open that again. When you come back to your AutoCAD, it updates with the 5 mil. Okay. There is the option of, I think it's this button down here, which is update all views. I believe there's a right-click option of update view if there's an update pending as well. But yeah, so you can do your details using, I mean, the reason you'd want to use AutoCAD, I mean, AutoCAD's been embedded into design companies for decades. I think 38 years, it's been around for 38 years. And people have got styles and standards and templates and colors and layers and line types and text styles and dimension styles configured for a decade. So sometimes it's just when you want it to look right, when you want it to look like all of your other drawings or your other AutoCAD drawings, you might want to do it in AutoCAD. Okay, you might want it to look and feel like everything else in AutoCAD. Or if you are giving it to somebody who doesn't have Inventor, someone who only has AutoCAD, you know, you can bring it into AutoCAD as a native AutoCAD file, dimension it up, put your annotations, your break views, you can do your center marks, center lines, you can do your leaders, you can put tables on, wipe out revision clouds, revision tables, you name it. You can. It's a native AutoCAD drawing. You can do whatever you want with AutoCAD with this drawing. So that's taking a file, a 3D file from AutoCAD, sorry, from Inventor now into AutoCAD. Now, the third type of file that we have is a DXF. Okay, let's just save this file, jump back over to Inventor, and let's just create a new, say, sheet metal file. Okay, create a sheet metal file. I'm not going to go too extravagant with my sheet metal file. I'm just going to create something very simple. Let's just create a rectangle. Let's say 100 by 100. Okay. Let's create a face, and create a flange around the outside. Boom, 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 and boom. Apply. Okay, and let's, for just argument reason, let's just stick a hole through the middle as well. Let's stick a hole through the middle, done. Okay, and let's create a flat pattern from it. Okay, so I have my sheet metal part. It's a very, very simple part. It's just a little box with some flanges and a hole. But you need a DXF from that. Okay, your DXF needs to go to your milling machine, your CNC machine. It needs to go somewhere where you've got CAM operations. That someone needs to make this part, and they need a DXF for their machine. Okay, DXF is an Autodesk format. I think it's Design Exchange format, which is native to AutoCAD. Now, to get this face right now into AutoCAD, simple way of right-clicking on the face and saying Export Face As. Okay, that is it. Export this face. Just give it my training number. Click OK, and it saves it out as a DXF. Okay, save as a DXF. Excuse me. Now, if I just save this. Now, I've saved the face as a DXF, but I also might want to do it from a drawing file. Okay, it's not, you don't have to do it from the 3D part file. You can do it from a drawing file. Okay, so from the drawing file, let's just do a front view of my flat pattern. Well, flat pattern, there we go. And just for something to do, let's just stick some side views down. Okay, there's my side views. Okay, I want this out as a DXF. Okay, from a drawing environment inside of Inventor, all we need to do is come up to File, Save As, Save Copy As, and choose the DXF format. Okay, here we have our options to configure our DXF. Okay, I'm saving it out as an AutoCAD 2018 DXF. Whether I want just my base view, do I want model space? Do I want to bring through my title block? Do I want model geometry only, which generally best be doing the DXF? And then your mapping options. For instance, if it's a continuous line in Inventor, do you want it to be a continuous line in AutoCAD? You've got your mapping options of setting it out to AutoCAD. And then also you can pick your AutoCAD template file, put it out to as well. Okay. Now I will just choose my. Actually, we'll not because there's a lot of click save. Okay, and then from AutoCAD, we can open up our DXFs. Okay, there's our two DXFs. Okay, there's our first DXF we created, which can now be sent off where you can annotate it, you can put your dimensions and leaders and styles and whatever it may be that you need to tweak for your particular CAM machine. And then you can export that out to your milling machine, your CNC machine. Okay, so that's taking a DXF from Inventor out to excuse me, out to AutoCAD. Okay, let's just save this guy. Let's cancel. No, I don't save them. Let's just put these files back into Vault. Okay, so these files, everything I've been working on today lives in Vault. Okay, everything I've been working on, the 3D models, the 2D models, these drawings, they all live within Vault. Now, what Vault allows me to do is all these changes that I've made, they're going to be tracked. Okay, so first of all, let's just get these files back into Vault. I'm going to check this file back into Vault. Added 3D view and dimension. Okay, it's just having that file into Vault. Let's do the same with this guy. Check in. Actually, I haven't made any modifications to that guy. Oh no, I changed D2, didn't I? And same with Inventor. Let's add. Actually, he was a new file. I'm not too fussed about adding him back into Vault. Oh, actually, no. Let's put him in Vault. Let's put him in Vault. Check in. Okay, so we can see here, it's checking in, but he's also checking in the part file that he creates with as well. So when you check in a parent assembly, or a parent item, if you like, with the drawing being the parent, it will bring its children with it as well. So I'm going to close the files, delete with and copy. This is my initial check-in for these files. And then I can get on to showing you what Vault is all about. Okay, and my DXF, oh, I had a DXF output here all ready to go. And finally, this little part here, let's go Vault, check in, okay, done. Okay, and close him down as well. Put him back in the Vault. Okay, I'll leave that guy open because I'm going to need him. Now, Vault. So just a bit of background, if you like, on Vault, as in what is Vault? What does it do? What does it look like? As I mentioned before, Vault's a product data management, which houses all of your engineering data, your workflows, your revision. It controls your revisions, your life cycles, your property management. It can link in with your ERP systems, your SAPs, your Microsoft Dynamics, your SharePoints. It's got cloud links to Fusion Team, BIM 360. It can be used to collaborate with people all around the world with different vaults. It's got a range of different things that it can do. So let's have a look at some of those things. Now there's four sides to Vault. One being what's called the ADMS, the Autodesk Data Management Server, which is the server side of things. Vault is recommended to be installed on a dedicated server. And that's where all your files will live. That's where the database will live. That's where the Microsoft SQL database and the file store will live, along with the server console that manages all of that. You then have a client installation on your machines, which I will show you in just a sec. You have the CAD plugins, which is what we're looking at here inside of Inventor with this ribbon bar here, which I'll cover in a bit more detail. We have our class, we have our client, we have our CAD plugin. The fourth option is our thin client or a web client, which allows non-CAD users who don't have a license of Vault to view released items inside of Vault. So if you've got released product, PDFs, DWFs, DWGs, IDWs, part files, whatever it may be, you can give non-CAD users access to view them read-only outside of Vault over the web. So let's have a look at the client side of things. Oh, actually, I suppose a fifth thing to Vault is the job processor, which when you do tasks inside of Vault, like create a PDF, which we will do soon, the job processor handles those sorts of tasks. It could be sending an email to someone to notify them they have to do something. It could be creating a visualization file. It could be updating a revision table. That's the sort of thing that the job processor handles. Okay? And we will have a little look at the job processor a little bit soon. So this is the Vault client that lives on your desktop. Okay, this is what we know as a thick client. It is the full client. And inside of here is where all your files live. Okay, this is a web link back to the server. Okay, so we're viewing this over HTTPS, and this is sort of our web link to our server. This is how we view our files. This is how we interact with our files. Okay, so all the files that we've been working with today, I've been really living inside of this AutoCAD folder. Okay, we've got our RVC, our CCF, we've got our 3D model, we've got a couple of our training files. I might have even added some things into training we didn't. Okay, this is where our files live. Okay, now a little bit of a process inside of Vault. When files come into Vault, they get assigned a category. Okay, whether it's up to you how you make these categories. Okay, so I have a 3D design category, I've got a 2D design category, I've got a PDF category, Office, Word, Excel categories. As files come in, they get categorized based on a set of properties. It could be file extension, it could be a particular property inside of a file. So they get categorized, and the reason they get categorized is because different types of files require different revision schemes. They require different approval processes. So a file comes in, it goes, and my Vault goes, okay, you're an AutoCAD file, you're an Inventor file, you get the design category, you are going to be put on, let's go back to this AutoCAD file, you get put on the design category, you get a revision A, and you get assigned to be a work in progress. Okay, now these states, this work in progress, my workflow, has a particular workflow to go through. It's got work in progress, a review, an approval, and a released state. And each state that it goes through, different people have different access. As I was mentioning before, you only allow certain people certain access when they need it. Okay, draftees don't need to be seeing things in the approval process because they're not involved. Managers don't need to see things in work in progress because things haven't been made yet. Okay, so you only assign certain people certain access at certain times. Okay, and how we do that is under the tools option, under administration, in here, I'm not going to go too much into detail, I'll just have a quick fill. Under our behaviors tab, we have our rules. Okay, and in here, I have file rules, such as if it's a part file and it doesn't contain electrical, it's a 3D design. If it's an AutoCAD DWG file, it comes on a 2D design. If it's an Inventor 2D IDW, it goes on 2D design. Okay, there's a whole heap of different rules that come in. Okay, Word, Excel, I've got some Revit, PDF, and other things. They get assigned to a particular category. Okay, that category then says, okay, I've been told you're a 3D design category. You're going to get the A2K design workflow. You're going to get the standard alphabetical format revision scheme. I'm also going to assign you all of these different properties. Now the properties I'll come to in just a bit because that's what maps to our title box. Okay, so a file comes in, first thing it does, okay, boom, you're an Inventor file. Okay, you're on the A2K design lifecycle, you get a revision A, you work in progress. And that file is then ready to go. The security has been assigned because I've already assigned who does and doesn't have access to work in progress and who can and can't access it at the next stage. I can also say who can and can't push it between the states. For instance, you might want managers to see things in work in progress, but you don't want them pushing it forward into the approval process without the draftee saying, yes, I'm finished. But on the other hand, you don't want the draftees pulling it out of the approval process before the managers have said, yes, I'm finished looking at it. So there's a lot of different things that can go into the configuration of Vault, and you can make it as complex as you want. You can make it as simple as you want. Now, I have an Inventor file already checked out. So this RCCF library, we're grouped all the way down here somewhere, and we will see further down here, we have a file checked out to me. At the minute, it's highlighted in blue, it's got a little tick next to it, and the icon is green. Now, all those mean different things. The little tick means that I have it checked out. The little green icon means that I have modified it on my local workspace. Okay? If that was somebody else viewing this, we would see that it would have a dash through it. It would have a stripe through to say, Ian has it checked out. Okay? So when you log in as another user, you can see who does and doesn't have it checked out. Now, I can also change my interface here to say, I want to see checked out by. Let's put it just behind the state, and we'll see that it's checked out by Ian C, which is me. Okay, so if I logged in as a different user and say, oh yeah, Ian's got that checked out. Okay, which is my file here in Inventor. Now, the integration with Vault and Inventor is it's a full stuff I can do from Inventor in here. Sorry, a lot of stuff in Vault in here in Inventor. I have a Vault tab on my ribbon bar, sorry, my model browser here, which tells me I've got certain things that are out of date. I've got certain things that are available that I haven't checked out. I've got my file here, which has been local file modified. Up the top, I can place files from Vault into my model. I don't need to go to Vault to find them, to place them in here. Okay, I can check the file in once it's finished. I can check it out. I can refresh it. I can update the properties. I can change the category. I can change the state. Once I'm finished modifying it, I can change it to its review state from here. Okay, I don't need to go into Vault to do that. And that's the same within AutoCAD. If I open up one of my files, for instance, this one here, I've got the same options. I can check it in. I can check it out. I can change the category. I can change the state. I've got the attach button, so I can attach an X reference from Vault. I don't need to download it to my local machine, search for it through my thick client, and then open it up and then attach it. Even my XREF panel has the Vault indicators on it to tell me that what the status of this file is. Now, if someone else had the file out and they modified it, I would be notified through here. So through Inventor, if somebody checked out this file and modified it, it'd go red. to tell me that my local file was out of date. Okay. It would go, if someone had deleted it, I would get an X through it, or somebody changed something, it might tell me I've got an update pending. So you're constantly fed information through your Inventor and your AutoCAD interface to say things need to be updated. Now I've got this file checked out, I'm modifying it, but I haven't got the children checked out, which is allowing other users to go into Vault and work on things without causing a problem. Okay, I don't even have to open things to be able to, sorry, I don't have to check things out to work on them. So let's check this file back into Vault. I've got saves pending on my thing. My chassis needs to be saved. So let's file up. Save him. Check him back into Vault. Okay. So what that little message was there, because I've on the check-in to Vault, you have this option of delete files on check-in. Okay, you have the option of deleting your local files on check-in. Now, obviously, you can't delete it if it's open up. You can't delete it if it's open. Okay. Back into Vault. Okay, while I was doing that check into Vault, I'll go back into Vault and show you what's going on. Okay, so those files are getting checked back into Vault, but to work with them from Vault is just the same. If you find the file that you want, it's a simple case of a right click and a checkout. Now there's two options inside of Vault. You've got your get and you've got your checkout. There's a subtle difference between the both. Get will get the file from Vault and copy it to your local workspace. Now, so a common misconception is Vault living on a server is that I'm working with my files over the network. You're not, okay? Yes, your files live on the server, which is where the files live. They're securely locked up in Vault. When you work with the files, when you get the file out and you check it out and you work with it inside your Inventor, you work with it inside your AutoCAD, you're working with it locally. When we configure Vault up to work with your Inventor and your AutoCAD, we specify a designated spot on your C drive, D drive, E drive, whatever drive it may be. It could be a shared drive, could be a network drive if you want to work with it on the network. I don't recommend working with it over the network. It's best to work with it locally. Makes your performance a lot better. But when we do a get, excuse me, when we do a get, it gets the file from Vault, gets a copy of the file from Vault and places it inside our local workspace on our local computer. We then work with the file locally until we're finished with it, and then we put it back into Vault. Now, the two differences between get and checkout, get just gets a read-only copy. It doesn't check the file out for modification. Checkout gets the file out of Vault and checks it out, ready for you to modify it. So if you just wanted to look at a file, you would do a get. It would get the file to your local drive, you could open it up, you could view it, but you couldn't make any changes to it, okay? To make changes to it, you would do a checkout. Now again, that can all be done through the Inventor interface. So even when I go to do an open, okay, I can say, I can look for a file. Let's look for 1009. Yep, this is just a, that's the one I want. I can do an open of it. It asks me, do I want to check the file out? I can say, no, I don't want to check it out. I just want to look at it, okay? This is just an embossed cylinder, but it allows me to look at it under Vault. The file's not checked out. Anybody else can go into Vault and get that file, okay? I've just got a read-only copy of it, okay? Which allows, it allows me to have a look at things. It allows me to reference things. I can place this into one of my assemblies and reference it without checking it out and causing a problem to other people. But if I was to do a checkout, checkout for modification, click OK, it puts a little tick next to it to say, hey, you've got it, you're working on it, okay? Let's say I make a change to the thickness of this extrusion here. Let's change the sketch. It's not going to let me do it now, is it? There we go. Edit sketch. Let's put a dimension on here. Let's just make it a little bit larger. Okay, finish the sketch. There we go. Why that tick button at the top wasn't working. But yeah, it allows me to make a change. If I go to Vault now, I can see once I click save, this will turn green to allow me to let me know that something has changed. And then once I'm finished, I can just go back in and say, it says it's not checked out. Now, from within Vault, I was mentioning before about the searching and the copy and design side of things. Now, depending on what you've got mapped attribute-wise, allows you to search different things. So each one of these files has a set of properties down the right-hand side. Okay, it's got system properties, which are who created it, when they created it, date, times, sizes, extension numbers, that sort of thing. Now, you can also create custom properties or custom user-defined properties, which can link into your title blocks and your attributes and things like that. Now, you can see this one here has got a bunch of stuff associated with it, but I want to find a particular file. Okay, now I know that the project name is A2K, and I know that one of the descriptions has the word copy in it, but that's all I know. Okay, that's all the information I've been given from a customer, from a client. Maybe somebody's left the organization, and okay, yeah, Bill created that back in 2002. What did he call it? No idea. Okay, it allows you to do a search. Okay, do a find. Now inside, excuse me, inside of Vault, it allows you to do a search based on a property. Okay, so these are intelligent searches. So for instance, I know that the part name, excuse me, I know that the part name, or sorry, the project name contains the word A2K. Okay, add that in, find. All right, there's 93 different objects. I don't have to go through 93 different objects. I know that the description contains the word copy. Add, find, and there it is. Okay, it's found the one that I want. I don't have to kind of constantly trawl through. I know it's in this folder. I know it's in that folder. I know I had this, and you double click in, you search it endlessly through, Windows Explorer. I've been there. I've searched through endless Windows Explorer directories, trying to find data sets or files or something that maybe I created when I was, back in my early days of working for a reseller in the UK, searching for data sets. Oh, that's a great file I can use. It's so much easier when you can just say, okay, I want to search for who created it. Okay, the designer. It could be the file name. It could be the format. It could be a file extension. It could be the company name. It could be the author who approved it, when they approved it, the approved date. All these different things you can search upon. So I can then say, all right, I want to go to that folder. Take me there. Okay, and there he is. Okay, I have a file in here with a whole bunch of inventive part files and assembly files that are currently work in progress. Now down here, I can see that the project name is A2K Technologies, the designer was me, and it has a description of copy design. That actually brings me nicely on to the copy design functionality inside of Vault, where you need to create a copy of an assembly or a part file or even a drawing file in AutoCAD, which has X references, related files, PDFs, images, all that sort of thing. You need to create a duplicate assembly. It might be that you're creating almost identical model, but only a few things are going to change. So what copy design allows you to do is allows you to copy the entire design. So copy design here. Okay, it gives me all the files that are related. Now I don't have any PDFs or image or Excels or Words, but it would bring them through if needed. And it allows me to copy them. But it also allows me to say, well, I don't want that one anymore, or I do want them, but it's the same as the original. Okay, we're going to reuse that part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all, and I'm going to say, I want to copy this entire branch to, let's just create a new folder in here and call it frame copy. Okay, I'm going to copy the entire frame to there, but I know that these ones here, this is the actual feet of the copy. Okay, I don't want to copy the feet. I know that the feet are going to stay the same, so I'm actually going to reuse them. Okay, so they're going to be the same feet that are in the old model and the new model. I'm going to reuse them, and we'll see that when we go back, you'll see links to both assemblies in those feet. Okay, now you can see there's a lot of hashtags in the name, and that's because it's automatically picked up on the sequential numbering scheme. So the new number will be whatever the next available number will be. Okay, I'm doing a copy, but in these options, I've got the options to, I can replace it. Okay, I don't have to say I want to copy it. I don't have to say I'm excluded. I might have another part file I want to replace it with. So I can say replace with and choose something to replace with. I can choose any of my numbering schemes. Okay, so there's a list of my numbering schemes that are in there. So at the minute, I've only got my sequential ones picked. It allows me to pick them. I'm going to exclude those. My rule is going to be copy all of the properties. Okay, I want to copy all of the properties that are in the existing model to be in the new model. Okay, part numbers, design, who designed it, costings, project numbers, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to copy it all. Okay, now you can define your own and only copy certain things and pick certain things and be a bit more particular. You could change the category, you could change the revision scheme, you could keep the revision scheme. But once you've picked all your stuff, you've went through your copy design, you said, yep, I want to exclude him, I want to keep him, I want to reuse him. You simply execute your copy. Okay, so what that does in the background is it opens it up, it does the copy, it keeps all the links. Well, it's going to keep those links there, it's going to break the rest of the links. Everything else has been done. There's the new names that it's given me. In my testing folder down here, I've got my frame copy, which has my new part files in. Oh, there we go. But if I look back in my frame assembly here of my feet, now my foot's there. If I go and see my where used, I can see that it's used in both of those assemblies. Okay, so with really, I'm going to say a one-click button, it's not really a one-click copy design. That allows me to select the design, the entire design from the top level. Could it be in the drawing file? The drawing file is the top level. It allows me to select that model, copy it, replace, reuse, or exclude what I want, pick and choose the properties that I want to say, okay, copy that property, don't use that property, and create a brand new design. Okay, that design is fully functioning. When I open it up, all the links will still be there, all the constraints, all of the references, everything will be working just fine. Now, that's the copy design tool. So we'll show you the searching tool, we'll show you the copy design tool, but now we're going to look at the PDF functionality. Okay, so how to create a PDF on a transition scheme. Now, there are some third-party plugins you could use for the PDF creation. Third-party plugins allow you to do a lot more with what's called the job processor. So the job processor is a utility you get with Vault, okay, with Vault Workgroup and Vault Professional. You don't get it with Vault Basic. Vault Basic is what comes free with your collections. Vault Workgroup and Vault Basic is a separate paid product. What the job server allows you to do is automate tasks at a transition. So when I go from work in progress to reviewal, let's say, it will do something. And what third-party plugins allow you to do, such as Cool Orange, one that we use here at A2K, we can do things. Yes, we can create PDFs with Vault. Yes, we can create DWFs with Vault. Yes, we can change our revision schemes and stuff. But the other things, you can update properties, you can send emails out, you can put watermarks on, you can do a lot more external stuff. Let's go and find, for instance, that little 3D model I had there. I'm going to move him from work in progress. I'm finished modeling up. I've done what I need to do. I'm going to change him into a review state. Okay. Now, obviously, that file would have been checked in, checked out, been reviewed by the designer. Once he's finished, he says, "Yep, okay, I'm done. I'm going to change that to review state." In our Vault settings, in my life cycle here, I have my A2K design. When I go from a work in progress to a review state, okay, I have set it to do an action of synchronize the properties and update the PDF. So it will create me a new PDF. Okay. This is in here. This is where we set the security of who can and can't access the certain states and who can and can't push it between certain states. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push him from state to state. Okay. I'm going to push him to a review state, and I'm going to say, please review my changes. In here, this allows me to say what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, but I can also include any children or attachments. If there's any PDFs attached or any markup files, or if this was a parent file, I could include the children. Okay, if it was an assembly, I could move all of the files at the same time into the reviewer state. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, okay, I'm going to remove it to there, and then if I look in my job queue over here, I've got a couple of pending tasks. Okay, there's my synchronized property, which is going to create my PDF file. I've got a couple of other things in here, which are additional third-party tasks as well. Now, my job processor will run. Okay, you can see here that it's creating the PDF. This is my job processor in the background. Okay, it says that it's finished. Okay, and if I just have a quick look, there is my PDF that's been created. Same state, same revision. Down the history here, I can see the history of the file. I can see a quick preview of the file. And there is my PDF document. Okay. Now in the PDF configuration, I can see either don't print workspace or don't print model space. So there's a few settings inside of here under the options. Right, under our global settings, is it? Right, I'll eventually get there. All settings. There we go. Options for the PDF. Okay, so for 2D AutoCAD, for 3D and for 2D Inventor, I can say do or don't do the workspace or the model space, include the layouts, don't include layouts, that sort of thing. Okay, now that can happen on any state change. So you can create a PDF on any state change. Generally, I would say create a PDF on when you're releasing it finally, and then that becomes available to the rest of the business. Because what you can do on here is you can upload it to a file location. Okay, so I can say set this file out and send it to a particular location, okay, outside of Vault. Okay, so I can send this out to a particular location, okay, PDF location here. Send it out to, I'm just going to say here I'm on my desktop, but yeah, you can send it out to a particular location outside of Vault. If the other people do not have the option of getting into Vault to have a look at it, you can export it out to a different location. Okay, third-party applications do give you a more tools and more utilities to configure what you want. Okay, and I think the final thing for us to look at here is the property mapping into title blocks. So for instance, this AutoCAD file here that we were looking at, let's just close it down. Let's open it from inside of AutoCAD. We'll do it that way. So I'm going to open up the file. It's a 3D file. Click open. I'm not going to check it out just yet because I'm going to change something in Inventor. Sorry, inside of Vault. So I can see down here. Okay. Inside my title block, I've got some properties. Okay. Inside of Vault, here's my file. Down here, there's my Inventor 3D annotation. There's my project number. Okay. So I'm going to change these inside of Vault. Now you can do it. It's bi-directional. You can change it in Inventor. You can change it in AutoCAD. You can have it both ways. You can have it one way. At the moment, I've got it set to be one way only. I've got it set to that Vault controls all. Okay. So I'm going to edit these properties. Let's change this to be, let's just bring it across so you can see me edit. AutoCAD, let's change it to 2D drafting, and then we'll set it to 22278. Okay. Click OK. It says it's successfully updated everything. Let me just close it down here and then get the latest from Vault. actually what I can do, let's do it from Vault. Let's do it from Vault. You can see the little red arrows there. It tells me that my local file is out of date. Okay, I've updated the file in Vault. I've changed those properties, but my local file is out of date. So I'm going to get the latest version. Okay, click OK. That should go to a clear circle. Yes, that tells me that my local file is updated. And let's go and open. Open the file. I'm not going to check it out. You can see down the bottom here, it's changed to AutoCAD drafting 2D, and you can see the project number has updated. Okay. Now to control, that's the same with Inventor. So you can see, if I open up an AutoCAD file, sorry, an Inventor file. I think one that's actually I'll do it from Vault. I'll show you the Vault configuration. So from inside of Vault, all we do is when we create our properties, we tell it to talk to a particular Vault attribute or for a particular AutoCAD attribute. So for instance, the project name, the project number, the project number, where is it? Project number, okay? I've told it to map to AutoCAD, title block, and attribute, okay? And I've got it mapping it bidirectional, okay? So it goes from Vault to AutoCAD. If anybody updates in AutoCAD, when it comes back into Vault, it'll shut them down. It'll say, no, you're having what I've said. Same thing with Inventor. If I look at if I go and say material, okay, I've set it to my Inventor iProperty material. So when a file comes through from Inventor, I can check out its material. So let's go do that. Let's go and find a part file here. Have I got material in here? Yeah, material, my steel, there it is. Okay. So if I was to open up this inside of Inventor and change that value, when I bring it back through into Vault, that'll be updated, it'll be changed. So should we do that? Let's have a quick look. Let's open this guy up. Let's change him from mild steel to stainless steel, let's say. Let's save him and check him back into Vault. Okay, go back to my Vault, do a bit of an update. There he is there, a bit further down here, he's now stainless steel. So I have that bi-directional link between Inventor and between Vault. Same with AutoCAD, same with Vault. It's attributes in AutoCAD, it's iProperties inside of Inventor. Same with your Inventor title block. If I open up a new drawing file, okay, can I just do a quick base view of something there? Okay, and I will save him. Yeah, let's just give him that name. Okay, and what I'll do is in my title block, let's give it, say, if I go to the iProperties of my title block, and I'll just say change the company name to be A2K Tech. Follow these. And we might have a title status. Let's say we check by as ENC, approved by as ENC, ENC. We have a title here of, let's just say, gold plate. Let's just call it gold plate. Apply. You'll see them appear in my title block down the bottom. Okay, ENC, gold plate, save, and let's check him into Vault. I'm not going to delete files this time. Okay, come into my Vault. I've now got the challenge of remembering where I checked him into, and RCF workspace AutoCAD files. Okay, RCF files. There's my drawing file, and down here, see I've got my ENC, I've got my A2K technologies, and I have my gold plate. Same thing that applied. If I was to change them here and send them back to AutoCAD, send them back to Inventor, they would update. Okay, so that's a bit of a nutshell. Well, I say a bit of a nutshell. A quite good run through of Vault about what it is. It's a product data management. It'll control your workflow. It'll control your revision schemes. Actually, something to mention, as you're going through your revision scheme, something I should show is when it does hit a particular life cycle or a particular design for change. You know, if you're coming through and you hit the pre-release stage, then you go, okay, it goes from pre-release back to work in progress. Something happens, okay? There's a change in the design. It might have a secondary bump in the revision. It might go from A to 8.1. It might go from A to B. It might go from A to 0 when it gets from pre-release to release. So under these transitions here, we can say bump the revision. We can bump the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary revision. So that can automatically update your revision scheme based on a lifecycle state change. Okay, there's no manual error there of having to forget to go in and change from an A to a B or a B to a C or an A to an 8.1, and then it will also go and update your title block. We can link that through into your AutoCAD or Inventor title block and have that automatically updated with the notes and comments of what happened when you changed from A to B. Okay, so it can control your revision schemes. We talked about the client plugin, so working seamlessly from Inventor. You can check in, you can check out, you can open, you can attach, you can place directly from inside of Inventor. Once the, or AutoCAD for that matter. When it gets into Vault, Vault then controls the life cycle, the revision schemes, the properties, who can access it when. It's locked out. You need a password to get into Vault. You need to have access to the folder. You need to have access to the file. It's making only the right people at the right time to the right file. It's making you work smarter, better, and faster. We put our property mapping into our title block. So we can have Vault, the single source of truth, control everything. We can have it controlled from AutoCAD if you want your designers to have that flexibility. We have placing like your X references from inside of AutoCAD directly from Vault. We showed the searching capabilities, we showed the copy design capabilities, and we're only scratching the surface of what Vault can do. We've got our multi-site replication. We've got our more flexible data. We've got our bill of material management with our item management. We've got our automated engineering change orders. We've got Revit integration. We've got Fusion Team integration, PLM and ERP integration to the likes of SAP. It goes on and on and on. Now, I did mention before there was 3 versions of Vault. You've got your basic, your work group, and your professional. Everything that I've shown you here is available in professional and work group. Once you get into the professional side of things, that's when you start bringing in your geometric searching, your bill of material management, your ECOs, custom objects, multi-site, PLM, ERP, Revit, Fusion, BIM 360. That gets into the professional side of Vault. So just to wrap up, guys, thank you for coming along. I hope that what I've shown you, taking your files from AutoCAD into Inventor into AutoCAD, and working with Vault and what Vault can do has been educational for you guys. If you registered for this course, a thank you with a link to the YouTube where this video will be uploaded. For those who didn't register and have just come along, this will be uploaded to our YouTube site, so please keep an eye. If you do have any questions around the video or you want to know more, please get in touch with us. The details are on the screen. Thank you again, guys, for coming along. I hope it's been educational, and I hope to speak to you guys again soon. Thank you.